tempting them to steal. For lives that slyly turn in their crammed holes, from fog to endless night, on their slag heap these children wear skins, peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel, with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. All of their time and space are foggy slum, and so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Again, this word is coming, doom, doomsday. Now, surely Shakespeare is wicked. Wicked means like somebody who is cruel, who is very bad. So surely Shakespeare is wicked, wicked, very bad, cruel. Now see, how can we say that Shakespeare is wicked? As I told you yesterday, like Shakespeare is considered to be the father of the English literature. Fine, he has given so much of things in the literature. So how can we say, and never ever we have studied about him, about his character also, that he was a violent kind of a person, his nature was not so good, he has harmed somebody. So we have not even studied about his character, and we have studied that he was a good person. But why it is mentioned here only in this poem by this poet Stephen Spender, that Shakespeare is wicked? Why he means to say Shakespeare is wicked, he means to say that Shakespeare's portrait, as I've told now, Shakespeare's portrait is hung in the classroom, so it is of no meaning in the classroom. So that is why Shakespeare is wicked. Are you able to understand? Shakespeare is not wicked, not bad, because he has not done anything wrong. He is wicked. Why he is called as wicked? Because his portrait that is there in the classroom, that is bad, because it is of no use for the children of the elementary classes, because they don't know about who is William Shakespeare. They don't know. They'll be able to study Shakespeare when they would move to the senior classes or the middle section classes. They don't know. So that is why Shakespeare is wicked, right? The map is a bad example. The map that is also hung in the classroom, that is also a very bad example. If I told you yesterday also, like something like that, if the charts must be hung in the classroom, then the chart should be of A, B, C, D, fine, E, E, something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, such things. Like all these things we study at the primary level. It is of no mean, the map is there in the classroom. So that is why the poet says that the map is also a bad example. It must not be there in the classroom, because now these children, they have a complex. They started developing inferiority complex, because the children who cannot move out of their slum area, how can they think of watching or observing this whole world? So this is something that is giving them the complex, and this is also really very bad. So like if somebody who has donated such things, now that person is very bad. Actually, the poet wants to say that person whosoever has donated such things like the portrait of Shakespeare or this world map also, that is really very bad, because it is of no use for these children. With the ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Now see, like for example, there is the picture, as we have studied about the Tyrolese Valley, fully loaded with the flowers, that is in Austria, fine. Then we have studied about the cloudless at dawn civilized home, that is the civilized part of this area also, of this town also. One part, the buildings are there, skyscrapers are there, one side there is the slum. So now with the ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Now see, as I've told you just now, that these children, they are given this complex also when they see such beautiful pictures. When they see that Tyrolese Valley fully loaded with this flowers, when they see the pictures of the ships and the rising sun also, fine. Cloudless at dawn, the picture of the cloudless at dawn, the clouds are not there, sun is there. So all these pictures, when they find that love is everywhere, people are living happily in their houses, they are loving each other, fine, they are taking care of each other. So such things, when they come to know, when they see such pictures, then what happened? Temptation, craving also starts in their mind. And see, if like for example, the point are like if you are not able to achieve something, then the only possibility is by working hard. By working hard, we can achieve our targets, or we can accomplish our dreams. Or like the parents, first of all, when we are like kids, the parents, they fulfill our desires, and later on when we grow up, fine, when we start earning, we are able to fulfill our desires. But for these children, just imagine their condition. Neither the parents are able to do anything for them, neither they themselves, because their whole future is painted with a fog. Fine. So obviously they can't imagine that they would be able to fulfill their even the smallest desires, smallest wish. So then what will happen? All these things, they tempt them to steal. They cannot, the things are like first, three things are there, like a beg, borrow, or steal. Beg. For example, those who are very poor, what they do? They beg or they borrow. Or if it is not possible, nobody is giving them, when they are begging, if they are borrowing, nobody is giving them, then the last possibility is to steal the things. Fine. So they start doing such petty thievery also. So in the same manner, these children also, when they develop complex, fine, when they are not able to get all these pleasures which are there in this world, so what they start doing, that all these things tempt them, they start developing the craving, and then finally that leads to stealing. They start petty thievery. And then finally, for what happened? For lives that slyly turn in their crammed holes, for lives that slyly means secretly, in a very secret manner. So finally, like after, when they have, stolen something from somewhere, they have accomplished petty thievery also. So after that, in a very secret manner, they turn into their crammed holes. Crammed holes refers to their houses, their homes, which are in a dilapidated condition, which are in a miserable state. So the crammed holes means like very small houses, very small homes, which are ready to be destroyed also. So they, in a very secret manner, they hide themselves in their small houses, so that nobody will be able to catch them. Then, and they remain there from fog to endless night. And what is there in their crammed holes? There is a fog to endless night. Fog is like from the very beginning, as you know, like the last, where all their future is painted with the fog that we have studied, where all their future is painted with the fog. That means from fog, like in the morning, what they see, the fog is there. In the morning, represents what? The present. In the present, the present is wrapped up in fog. It is wrapped up in mist. Nothing is clear. Hopelessness is there. And that is reaching to endless night, means infinity. This complete darkness is there in their future also. So this means like the present is also not clear, and obviously the future is also not clear. So like what is to be done in such a condition? Obviously they would feel miserable. On their slag heap, these children wear skins. This is the irony of the situation. Just imagine the condition. Simply imagine the condition, like on their slag heap. Heap, like there is a heap of garbage that is there, that is dumped in the slum environment, slum area. So now see, on their slag heap. Slag means the waste material. The waste material straight away coming from the factories and the industries, right? So on their slag heap, now these children, they sit on these heaps of garbage, heaps of dust also, and they do not mind it, because that is part of their area, so they do not find that it is something wrong. Fine. So now it says that on their slag heap, these children wear skins. This is the irony. Like what we wear clothes, stylish clothes, fashionable clothes. Fine, we wear such clothes. But what these children are wearing, they wear skins on skeleton. As from the first line, we are studying that these children, they are the victims of malnutrition. They are ill. They are not getting proper nourishment from the side of their parents, right? So on their slag heap, what these children are wearing? These children wear skins. The skin is a coating, skin they are wearing on the skeleton. And so they wear skins peeped through by bones. And from the skins, what is peeping out? The bones are peeping out, and which reveals that they are not getting the proper nourishment. They are the victims of malnutrition. So now the wear skins peeped through by bones, and spectacles of steel with mended glass. And see these children, those, for example, like it's not that each and every child is wearing the spectacles. Fine. Like out of these children, slum children, if some of them are wearing the spectacles, then the spectacles are of mended glass, means the broken pieces of glass are there and then they are mended by using the this gum or the Fevicol or something like that. Now, there is an imagery that is presented by the poet. Imagery is like, you can simply imagine, like if we would wear spectacles in which the broken pieces are joined together, then what kind of image will be able to see? Will not be able to see the clear image, right? We won't be able to see the clear picture. So in the same manner, the poet wants to say that these children are not able to see the clear picture in the present, and obviously they are not able to have a clear picture of the future also, like what they would become. For example, those who have opted for science, those who have opted for arts or commerce also, so there is a dream now, like I would become this, I would become that, something is there in the minds obviously. But these children, what about their career, what about their future? Their present is totally in in darkness, and obviously the future also in the same manner. Yeah, who is the speaker? Hello. Heaped through by bones and spectacles of steel. On their slag heap. Heap here means like there is a cluster of the garbage. Garbage. Slag here means the garbage, but it is not the common garbage that is coming from the houses. Fine. The garbage here refers to that is coming from the factories and the industries. So these children, they do not mind sitting on that dirty places also. They are sitting on the heaps of, keep on writing down the meanings. I'm telling you, keep on noting down the points also. This means you can simply imagine that they are giving welcome to the diseases. They are not minding sitting on such places also. That is, they are sitting at such place where there is garbage. Fine. And so like they are sitting on the heaps of garbage coming from the factories, like the steel pieces are there, iron, metal pieces are there, they would harm them. And so much of chemicals are also there. So you can easily imagine that the chemicals and the metals, small pieces are there, they could harm them. But still these children, you have also seen like the children, such children, they walk on the roadside also barefoot, and still they are not having any problems also, because they become so strong also. They are walking on the roadside without the foot wears during the summer season, winter season, rainy season, or in any season, because they become so strong also by surviving, struggling through these seasons. So now on their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. Now these children, they are wearing the spectacles, fine, and the spectacles of steel is there, the steel frame is there, but with mended glass. This is the irony. Mended glass, the glass that is there in the frame, that is mended, that is the repaired one, means the broken pieces were there and now they have been mended by using the the gum or the Fevicol or something like that. Fine. So that is why, like, what kind of picture they'll be able to see? Obviously the picture won't be clear, the image won't be clear. And so with mended glass, like bottle bits on stones, there is a simile that is given here, like bottle bits on stone. For example, bottle bits means the pieces of the glass on a stone. So the pieces are separated in the same manner, like different pieces are there, separated, the pieces are there, they are joined together, they are mended. And then in this manner, these children are wearing the spectacles. Now, all of their time and space are foggy slums. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Now, all of their time and space means here two important things, important points that the poet has read. Like the children, those who are studying in the schools, they are utilizing their time. Their time is, utilized in constructive things. They are studying, playing, fine, talking also. That is giving them good ideas also. But what about these children? All of their time is wasted. Fine. They are not able to do anything. Their time is a waste. And space also. Space means the environment in which they are living. That is a foggy slum, means a dirty area where they are spending their time. So what they are getting, they are simply wasting the time. They are not bothered about, they are not careful also, they are not bothered about their future. Neither the parents are telling them that they should devote their time and energy in studying. So neither the parents are telling them. Obviously, the teachers are also not bothered about their future, about their uh, result also. So now that is a foggy slum. So their time is wasted, and the space, the environment in which they are living, that is a dirty environment. That is a foggy slum. Nothing is clear. So now, blot their maps with slums as big as doom. There is an image that is used here, as big as doom. And here the poet says, so blot their maps with slum as big as doom. Doom means what? As we have studied in the earlier poem also, doomsday, we have studied in the poem A Thing of Beauty. Dooms means the day of judgment. Fine. So at least the judgment should be there in their lives also. As what is the basic theme that runs out throughout this poem is like this poem is based on social injustice and class inequalities. Fine. So the poet says, so blot their maps with the slums, and that is as big as doom, means that is equal to that of death. Slum environment is quite similar to that of death, means like it's not a life. It can't be said to be a life that these children, these people living in the slum area, they are living. That is quite similar to that of death. They are not eating good food. They are not listening to good people also. They are not spending time with good people also. So what actually they are getting? They are not getting anything constructive. So the poet says, so blot their maps, means such things should be removed. Actually, such areas should not be there. Such differences should not be there in the society. Inequalities, the class inequalities and the social injustice should not be there. Fine. Such things should not be there on the maps also, like a slum area. So these children should also be given, these children, their parents should also be given the basic amenities, like fine. And it is the responsibility of the authorities. In the next passage, we'll study about unless governor, inspector, and visitor. Only by this line will continue on Monday from here. So by only this line, the poet wants to say that until and unless these people, they would pay a visit to this area, the slum area, their condition is not going to improve. Yeah, these people, they visit such places, they visit these slum area, but only for their own means, for their own purposes, like during the time of the elections, for taking the votes, fine, for seeking the votes of these people. They visit such areas, but they are not concerned whether these people are living a life or they are just like they are next to the death also, because they are more prone to diseases. The germs and the garbage is there, so obviously sewage, drainage, no facility is there. So you can imagine the what is the condition in which these people are living. Now you can ask the queries also if you have related